Welcome to the Horse Talk Show
You never heard of a talking horse?
with your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Yeah, baby.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton, here in the CEP Equine Studios in downtown Ocala, in the horse capital of the world. We have a really good show lineup for you today. Later on, we have Hall of Famer Steve Haskin, who will be talking about the Derby mess and talking Derby to me for a couple of segments, which is wonderful. We have Dr. Kayot, who's going to be joining us in the next segment, talking a little bit about vaccines and why you really need to have them and which ones are really important, at least here in Florida for sure. It's always great to have Dr. Kayot with us, so that should be a great segment. Jody is back in town from Delaware. She's been busily foaling some beautiful Arabians at Chestnut Hill Arabians, dear friends of ours, Joe Alberti and his team there. And she'll be joining us in a couple of segments to chat a little bit about that. So we're certainly looking forward to seeing Jody again after all these weeks. Of course, then there's Steve Haskin, and then we'll be closing out the show at the end of the show, just kind of chatting and reminding you about some events that are coming up. But to start with, let's go to some news. Medina Spirit, as you know, passed away in December of 2021, and we were very saddened by that, being very good friends with his breeder Gail Rice and Christy Whitman, who trained him, and in the loss of this dear soul whose necropsy came back with nothing conclusive to report other than the normal things you find in horses all the time, like Banamine, which is generally used for all of our horses, especially at times when they have any kind of inflammation, pain or colic, is actually going to be buried at Old Friends. And I just want to do a shout out to Michael Blowen, who is a dear friend to the show, who we've interviewed and visited with. They're at Old Friends in Kentucky, and they're going to put him up front, fairly close, I think, to Charismatic. And I'm quite sure the flowers and wonderful notes and donations will be pouring in. The Horse Talk Show will be making a donation to Old Friends towards Medina Spirit and his final resting place there. So, and I can tell you for sure that the next time that we're in or around Lexington, Kentucky, we'll be stopping in there to visit his grave and pay homage to a horse that ran his heart out, proved that the Cinderella story is possible, and one of those horses can go to the Derby and make it to the top and be an incredible, amazing horse. And I'm sure a Mazardan and anyone else associated with Medina Spirit's thrilled that he'll be at Old Friends, where so many of Bob Baffert's famous horses are and have been laid to rest or are still there enjoying carrots from Michael Blowen and a wonderful life. So we're very, very glad that that's where Medina Spirit will be, because other than my backyard, that's the best place. Up and coming, March 9th, we're very, very excited to have the second annual Equine Industry Expo. We think this is very appropriate for the horse capital of the world. We definitely have a shortage of workforce here, and we're very thankful to Miller & Sons Plumbing for being the presenting sponsor of this event, which is part of the Equine Initiative presented by Piranha. We'll have food trucks, farriers, a horse breed expo, equine dentists, some horse trainers, vendors, breeders, demos, equine products, employment opportunities for all ages. David Helmuth will be here with his Clydesdales and Hitch for some carriage rides that will be courtesy of Larson Hay. Showcase Properties, Gary Yeomans Ford, Peterson and Smith, Brookledge, the Equine, Fredericks Equestrian International Stabling, OBS, FIP Printing, Everglades, Equipment Company, the Horse Talk Show, Equiceptional, and the CEP, the Chamber and Economic Partnership, are all supporting sponsors of an event that we hope will really showcase the wonderful equine industry that we have here, allow people to come face to face with live horses and meet them in a safe environment and learn from the top people about all the different jobs that there are available here in Ocala and the surrounding area, as well as a demo by the very famous Sylvia Zabini with her 2019 Briar horse Rico in the FEI round pen. We also have Jacinto Vasquez here. He will be doing autographs and chatting to people about riding Ruffian and what it takes to beat Secretariat twice. You'll get to see Jack Montgomery, a master farrier, shoeing a horse. Eddie Esparza will be here and he will be floating a horse's teeth. You'll get to see a variety of different breeds of horses and go in the photo booth area with them, learn about that particular breed and take a photo or a selfie with that horse. So we hope that will be a wonderful event. Louisa at ocalacep.com for more information. If you would like to be a vendor, Lynn at ocalacep.com. And again, March the 9th from 12 to 7, thanks to our sponsors. That is a free event, no charge for admission, at 403 Southeast Osceola Avenue at the Ocala Downtown Market. Please join us. Wow. This weekend, the first Florida Steeplechase. It's March 5th at the Florida Horse Park. We're thrilled that Archie McCauley and Jessica Berry have put this wonderful event together with a lot of help from the community and their sponsors to have tailgating, a VIP, to have a steeplechase at the Florida Horse Park. How exciting. We hope this is an event that gets bigger and grows every year, and that we get to see this exciting sport happen in our community. There is a hat competition in the afternoon, so please either wear a hat or a fascinator. I will be judging, or I will be one of the judges, I should say. So you know I'll have a hat or a fascinator on. So please make sure you wear that and show it off so that we can choose the winner. I'm sure there'll be some wonderful prizes. And it's going to be really exciting to see a steeplechase at the Florida Horse Park. Big supporters of the Florida Horse Park. We love all the events they do there, but this is exciting for the first time to do this there. So we certainly hope you'll get your tickets. You can go to Florida Steeplechase online and get yourself all set to have some fun this weekend. Very sadly, there's some health issues in Jenna Rivera's family, and we're certainly keeping that family in our prayers and thoughts. We are going to help support this event on May 8th, also at our good old Florida Horse Park, who do such wonderful things there on Highway 475. And that is going to be on May the 8th, and it is going to be a 5K run for Rivera with a 1 mile option. If you want to support from a distance, you can get the information online to make donations. If you feel you can't do a 5K run, then come and do a walk. It's $25 for a participant. Groups are certainly welcome if corporations or clubs want to come as a group. And all the proceeds from this event will directly benefit the Rivera family and this health concern at the moment on this flyer. If you're watching us either on Equus Television or on social media, you can get that information, and you can actually Google that as well, and that information will come up, or you can reach out to the Horse Park. Be happy to answer any questions. Please join in on May 8th. So we've talked about a lot of things here in this very first segment of the show. There is a lot going on in the horse capital at this time of year. So we have a lot of events, we have a lot of excitement, we have a lot of horsing around, wonderful opportunities. So try and go to as many as you can. Certainly make sure you're at the Expo on March 9th because we really want to introduce you to some really exciting breeds we have in this area. We'll be back in just a few minutes on the Horse Talk Show. We're going to have an interview with Dr. Kayot at Peterson & Smith. Stay with us.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system. Powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second side of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson & Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I just wanted to talk a little bit for a moment about Larson before we jump to Dr. Kayot in just a couple of minutes. I have said and will continue to say that I stand behind Larson Hay 100%, as we do here as a team. at the Horse Talk Show. In recent months, there have been some social media posts and a loss of some horses' lives, very sadly. And our hearts and prayers absolutely and condolences go out to anybody who's ever lost a horse. We certainly love horses. That's why we have the Horse Talk Show. I lost my horse last year, very sadly, to a very severe colic. I know more than anyone what it's like to love a horse and lose it. So our hearts are certainly with anyone who has lost a horse. So far, all the testing of the hay that has been done and returned has come back negative for botulism from the Larson hay that was picked up from the farm. I'm very glad to hear that and not surprised. Obviously, there are more tests out there that have not yet come back, and we are waiting for those results. And as we receive those, we will pass that information on to you. But I would like to say, and can say this with great confidence, having traveled to Idaho and visited the hay fields with Richard Larson himself, I have never seen such care going into each and every bale from each and every field. I've also never been in a hay place as clean, a warehouse as clean as Larson Hay, and as meticulously taken care of and looked after. And the quality of the hay when it arrives at your farm is, again, meticulous. And I've been feeding Larson Hay for years and years and years, and have every confidence, and will continue to do so, that they will always deliver the absolute best product available, whether your large pasture bales or your square bales. Their hay is meticulous. I would say to people, be concerned about what is in and around your farms, obviously, always, whether that be wildlife or domestic animals. Be regularly checking your well for contaminants, always, very important piece of information. When I moved into my home, right before the mortgage, the inspector did not pass my well, and it had to be treated and sanitized, and I had to actually buy a cleaner for my water for both the house and the animals. So, be aware. We don't know, obviously, yet the cause, but be aware of all of those things, regardless, to keep your horses as safe as possible. And again, our prayers and condolences to anyone who's lost a horse for any reason at all. Coming up, we have Dr. Kayot. He's going to talk about how important vaccines are and which ones matter. So we hope you enjoy this segment. He always does such a great job. So for springtime, certainly start thinking about the return of the nasty mosquitoes, especially here in Florida. Got to start thinking about some of the vaccines that are really important. We're also in the middle of show season at this time of year, so we have concerns about EHV, obviously, something that we do see sometimes at some of the showgrounds as horses migrate. What do you recommend in the spring for the horses to have?
Well, here in Florida, I don't necessarily go spring and fall. It's whatever they had 6 months prior. So down here,
I try to do the spring and fall. Helps me remember.
It helps people remember. But basically, we try to vaccinate every 6 months, whether that's summer and winter or whether that's spring and fall or however that falls. We try to do it twice a year down here. The number one things that are bad for your horse are the Mosquito-Borne Encephalitis, so that's Eastern encephalitis, Western encephalitis, West Nile virus. Those all can cause neurologic problems. Eastern encephalitis is basically 100% fatal if they get that, and the vaccine is amazingly effective against that. So it's effective against all those things. So usually at the springtime or whenever, and your 6 month interval, they always get the encephalidity vaccines, which tends to include tetanus in that. Plus, I give flu rhino. So influenza is your flu. Rhino is your EHV 1 and 4. So that's herpes virus 1 and 4. Those viruses typically just cause respiratory issues. However, there's a neurologic component to those, and those are the ones that end up getting scary, and some horses don't make it through that. The vaccine doesn't necessarily prevent your horse from getting it. However, if your horse does come in contact with it, they're less likely to have a dramatic event, a full-blown case, and typically they get over it. Horses we as far as EHV, since we're on that topic, it's very similar to COVID. Okay, so horses can carry it a lot and be symptomatic shedders. So they have it in their system. They aren't sick, but they're shedding it. And so when you have horses congregated in a small space, in a show barn, in a boarding stable, any of those things, you might have Blaze down there that's shedding it to all of his friends, and Blaze is doing just fine. So that's why when you have a horse that's in a concentrated space of other horses, it's very important to have that on board. And I always tell people, I said it's never a problem until it's a problem. If you want to skip your vaccines, then just buyer beware, so to speak, because you might get lucky and never have an issue, and you weren't necessarily very prompt on vaccinating your horse, but that one time that it happens, you're going to be kicking yourself in the rear end. So
and they're not terribly expensive investments. It's quite worthwhile.
No. They're a lot less expensive than a new horse or vet bills to treat after and all that stuff. So prevention goes a long way. Lastly, rabies. Spoke about that on the show earlier. Rabies is not good in horses. We always have a case in a wild animal in Marion County at least once or twice a year, and it's cheap. The rabies vaccine in horses is only once a year. We do not do like we do in dogs and cats, where you do 3 years or whatever it is. I don't even know the protocol in dogs and cats, but I know it can be longer than the year. It's once a year in horses, and
so worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah, it only takes one wild animal to run through your field
and bite your horse, and then you got problems. Yes. So it's bad because your horse then can transmit it to you. Right? Any bodily fluid can carry the rabies virus, and it can be transmitted to you. So it's one of those zoonotic diseases that we've talked about before.
And your thoughts on Strangles?
Hope that you don't get involved with it. I mean, there's a vaccine out there, and I'm probably not a big proponent of doing the Strangles vaccine, but certainly it's available in the site of an outbreak. I suggest that you do it. But if you're getting horses coming in and out, it's always good to quarantine for 14 days, put that horse somewhere else just to make sure, because, we do have outbreaks every once in a while, and it can be a big problem.
Yeah, I can't remember having one in quite some time. So
there's one right now.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
So for show horses, it's more important, or horses that are sharing water on the trail, things like that?
Strangles is transmitted by the discharge and nose-to-nose contact and that sort of thing. And, if they have discharge that's on a bucket or whatever, and they're sharing that sort of thing. So, any spot where horses are congregated together, boarding stable, show stable, touching noses across the fence, whatever, that the Strangles can be transmitted that way.
They're not one that you necessarily recommend for everybody all the time.
No, honestly, I don't, not all the time. But certainly if you know your horse is going to be in that environment, it's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So vaccines, get them twice a year. If you're like me and you have short-term memory loss for some reason, then spring and fall works great for me. So Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Kayott at Peterson & Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson & Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and Larson Hay, our broadcast and television sponsor, plus supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and the Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Louisville.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Yeah, you really can't hide. Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm so excited that on the break, my brother from another mother, Alan Davies, returned, my prodigal brother, who's been missing, by the way, for several weeks. I'm quite irate with him now, actually. He had a reason, a family reason that he had to be gone. But when I was at his house a couple months back, he had this amazing driftwood sculpture of a horse, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And while he was gone, he found one very similar that looks like my Mustang, and showed up with it. So I wanted to share it with you because
it's awesome.
What
It's
way to
absolutely awesome.
welcome Jody back. Everton is back in the studio with us, and we're going to have some Arabian tales for you here in a minute.
For sure. It's nice to be back. I've missed all of you. This is just magnificent.
I hugged her
I don't know
for
what
like 10 minutes, and I hugged
Hey,
him
you know,
for like
let's
10
do some.
minutes. So,
Let's do
you know,
a different. I
it
think
must
that's a
be
funny
the
angle.
percentage
Let's
of
go.
people
Look at
I love
this.
today.
Look at this.
Isn't it gorgeous?
There, that's a better angle for your camera shot.
Amazingly beautiful.
It is beautiful.
But anyway, Alan is going to come and lift it down right now so we can do this next segment with his Equine Therapy International.
Thank you, Alan.
So turn around. Let's see your shirt, Alan. Pop around, back up. Back
You
up,
gotta come in.
please. Yeah. But this is, yep, that was good. Alan is amazing. Equine Therapy International, their products, the Treadmill, the best in the whole world. But it came from England, so you know.
Come on.
Can't get much better than that, right? Nope. And also their other products as well. They have a huge array of amazing products that you can go online and check for horses for therapy. So definitely check those out. And thank you, Alan. I love you, and I love my horse.
It's beautiful.
It is amazing.
It's
Isn't he an
beautiful.
amazing guy?
He is. And you know, regular viewers of the show might recognize Alan from other shows.
Maybe when he was Santa.
Yeah.
Alan, why don't you come sit in with us? You gotta go.
He's shy.
Yeah.
Maybe at Christmas time he'll be
Well,
back.
I'm really glad you're home. We're going to talk Arabians.
Let's talk Arabians.
Let's talk Chestnut Hill. Let's talk Jody's been up all night.
Yes, it has been busy. It's been a busy month at Chestnut Arabians.
I can't tell them what you said.
No. There's a couple. You know, some things late at night are just between the ladies. But
She was talking to reproductive parts the other night. I'm just going to tell you that. But she was tired too.
I was tired. We were anxiously waiting for.
Please give
time.
birth. Yes.
When you're standing in the barn, it's so peaceful and it's calm, but you also get to a point where it's like, okay, but it's time now.
It's time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to give birth.
Yeah. But the guys have been out and, all right, we'll talk babies. Okay, so this is a beautiful mare named Isabella. She's owned by a wonderful woman named Christy Waters, who just recently relocated to Ocala. This foal's sire is KM Bugatti. I'll tell you a little more about him in a minute. That's the ones, first thing in the morning I sent to my mom and my nieces and my sisters. And hey, how's it going? And I said this. Oh, come on.
I am sorry, but I don't think there's anything cuter than a
No,
foal.
this was not long after her first nursing. So I sent the photos, unfortunately, a little out of order. So bear with us. So this is, look, at this point, Isabella was like, I'm pooped. And the foal's like, all right, we'll just lay here. But this was just, this was minutes old right here.
Goodness.
Look, you can see over her back end, the sack isn't even off her hips yet.
Incredible.
Yeah. Just a wonderful.
Amazing, isn't it? Like, I was awestruck the first time that I was there for one.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. So take a look at this one. This is with the umbilicus still connected. That's how fresh this photo is.
Wow.
There wasn't.
And the baby's wet. You can see.
Yeah. Yep. She right when we were concerned. Ooh, should we do something about this? She hopped up, hopped down, and then snapped it off. So that was the end of that. But God bless this mare, Louisa. She passed all of that instantly. This is her the next morning, frisky and ready to roll. Yeah, it was just a very textbook.
I
know. Now remember, this filly was officially 10 days late.
Wow.
So as far as I'm concerned, that mare was carrying around a 10-day-old foal.
She was.
So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so your regular viewers, if you're used to looking at thoroughbred babies. I have gray hairs though, and they have "hustle down to the barn" written on every one of them. But yeah, it was very textbook. Everything went smooth, and yeah, the only thing that was very different was it was the guys were out of state, which is not typical for this to be going on.
And where were they?
They were in Scottsdale, Arizona, at a very prestigious Arabian horse show. That they had a fantastic show.
Joe only goes to prestigious, right?
Correct. Correct. So here's a picture of our friends Colby and Farrow. You remember Colby's been in on the show, and
Farrow.
Yep, for the second year in a row, he won the performance halter. This is Maddie Weiner with her brand new 3-year-old Arabian colt. 3-year-old Arabian colts. Look at him.
Serious?
Yep. Superstar. This is one of my favorites. This horse also came from Scottsdale, Arizona last year. Yep. And here he is. I just think he's beautiful. But look, not only beautiful, but look how well behaved. He's like, oh, wait, my lady doesn't go that quick. Okay, wait. He waits. And then he comes back around. Look, his tail up. Just beautiful. I just love him.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Gosh, yes.
Yep, and he's going to be gray, believe it or not. That's a steel gray. Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful, yeah.
It's my favorite way they gray out is that color. Love him. Look at him. So there's the ribbon board. Did Joe send you these, or did I send you these from Facebook, or did Gigi's just creative, and there they are.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my friend Brooke from Connecticut with a reserve championship in the half Arab adult hunter amateur, very big class.
Has anyone ever counted and to see if Chestnut Hill Arabians always wins the most ribbons?
You know what? If there was a ribbon count, I kind of feel like we'd be like right up in the top 3-ish.
I think so too.
So look, that's Maddie. Yes, that's Maddie with the colt you just saw.
Yeah.
Yep, $2,700 she won for that colt class.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Colt too.
This is Intrinsic. Recently purchased by a lady named Betsy, who's also from New England. Beautiful Arabian colt. Look at that. Yeah, perfect top line. Long swanny neck. Yep.
No, it's unreal.
Perfect tail set. Long legs. Just
beautiful.
Yeah. This was a really exciting class. This is called the International. So the showing's a little different. So this is Maddie, who was reserve in a class. And then next to him is Raul with his stallion Impressive, who was champion in that class. So they were first and second in the class.
Impressive.
That is impressive.
That is impressive.
You remember Colby?
Yeah.
This is Colby's husband, Raul, with his horse. There's Brooke. Look at those.
That's a lovely photo.
Are you kidding?
With the mountain in the background.
Brooke sent me that earlier today. Colby took that photo of Brooke and her horse.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, you're out in the desert.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember this horse's show name. His barn name is Champ. Oh my goodness, but he was reserve champion in the international class. Look how pretty.
Talk about clean up on the ribbon.
Right? Look at our handsome man Joe in there. Okay, here's Raul again with Impressive. Again, these backdrops, for us in the Arabian industry, when you see these backdrops, you know it's Scottsdale because that's the only place we show that looks like that.
And Scottsdale's a big deal show.
Scottsdale is a big deal show, yes.
Is it the biggest deal?
Yes, that and the U.S. Nationals. Those are the two biggest Arabian horse shows we have in this country.
Joe and his band always come back with it all, don't
they do. This is Maddie again with her gelding Marv.
Look at that beautiful face.
I know, and the colors are so beautiful, and the desert's gorgeous.
Yeah, amazing. Oh,
hello. You like how that looks?
That's something else.
Look, and I'm sorry, you put roses on something, and suddenly it looks super. Look at the neck on this.
I know.
Gorgeous.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Arabians are amazing.
Well, they fire me up. Okay, here's Kieran. Also, she was a top 10 winner in the amateur, and I believe with Joe in the Open. Shallon, who owns this horse, is also from New England. So they flew out to the show, and then they're heading up. Everybody's heading back east.
So you're winning ribbons and having babies.
Winning ribbons and having babies.
Do you know what that means?
Good timing.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That means we have a minute left.
Oh, okay. This is Creed. You like this? This is Rob Janecki's horse. You know our friend Rob. So this is Joe, Brooke, and Brooke's parents, again, with the half-Arab Pinto that was...
beautiful.
Yeah, reserve champion. I mean, that was a big, big ribbon for Brooke. Just fantastic.
Well, we got to wrap it up, or Tom Schmitz will be mad at me, and I don't want Tom Schmitz mad at me ever. So stay with us. We're coming back with Hall of Fame turf writer Steve Haskin.
We haven't even.
You'll enjoy it. Stay with us on the show.
We haven't even toasted.
Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
The Equine Industry Expo, presented by Miller & Sons Plumbing, is at the Ocala Downtown Market, Wednesday, March 9th from noon to 7 p.m. Meet a variety of horse breeds and equine industry professionals for demos by farriers, equine dentists, vets, techs, and horse trainers. With food trucks, vendors, new equine-related products, free carriage rides with the beautiful Clydesdales, and more. Join us for Equine Edutainment at its best, Wednesday, March 9th at the Ocala Downtown Market. For more information, go to the events calendar at ocalacep.com, part of the Equine Initiative presented by Piranha.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
Debbie and George and the staff at Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, one of the largest equine therapy programs in the world, take teams of tiny horses to visit thousands of adults and children inside hospitals and in hospice care. They visit with families, first responders, and veterans who have experienced traumatic events. This multiple award-winning 501c3 is celebrating over 25 years of service, bringing hope and peace to the bedsides of many, some who are in the final moments of life. For more information or to donate, go to gentlecaraselminiaturetherapyhorses.com. Like them on social media, and help them make a difference that really counts. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio in the horse capital of the world, with my very favorite guest, Hall of Famer Steve Haskin is joining us. Steve, it's lovely to have you back with us.
It's always nice to be at the horse capital of the world.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And
yes,
to talk.
I'm glad you recognize this. I'm sure the people of Kentucky wouldn't have agreed, but that's fine. I mean, Florida's right there. You can thank you know what? You can thank a horse called Needles for that.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely, we certainly can, and then we can also thank the FTBOA who got involved in buying the trademark back in '99, which was a good move because we're getting horsier than ever here, Steve. And if you come for a visit, I'll take you on a tour.
Oh, I would absolutely love that. I've never ever been down there, believe it or not.
Steve.
No, I've never been to Ocala. I mean, I've been wanting to go. You know, I've been wanting to go to the old. Actually, one place I've always wanted to go to. I forgot what it's called now. Something like Whispering Hills or something.
Yes.
It's the old Tartan Farm.
Yes.
To see Dr. Fager's grave and Tawi, and I wrote about it. You know, when I wrote the book on Dr. Fager.
That's right.
But I always wanted to see what it looked like.
So when's your birthday, Steve?
April 4th.
Oh my gosh, you're the day after my son and 3 days before Gigi.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness me.
Wow.
So should I, for your birthday, buy you a plane ticket?
I don't think my wife would appreciate that. Being we've been busy trying to pack up and move and going crazy here, and trying to, waiting to put a house up for sale. So I don't think she would appreciate it if I
probably not.
If I got on a plane to go to Ocala to look at a grave.
Well, you tell me when you're ready, and your flight's on me. How about that?
Oh, I appreciate that. I
would love to have you come and visit, and I think that would be a blessing for Ocala, and we could take pictures of you in all the famous spots, and I think that would just be wow. I would love it. So you can just.
That's very nice of you. You can do without the pictures of me, but it's very nice of you. I appreciate that.
So, talk Derby to me.
Well, what aspect of this crazy Derby trail do you want to talk about?
Gosh,
the mess, the fiasco?
Well, I think the mess, yes, maybe the epicenter of the Derby, which is that, of course, Asmussen has won a lot, but not a Derby. So it's kind of interesting that he has a pretty exciting horse for the Derby. But yes, let's start with the mess, shall we?
Well, as I wrote my latest rankings, if you want to sum it up, just take the first 4 letters of Baffert's best horse, and you have it, which is Messier.
Oh, yes, you're right, Mess. It's a good one.
I mean, I in the beginning, I did not rank any of Baffert's horses because I was convinced that I really wasn't sure. I thought I'd heard that they were going to leave the horses with Baffert and then forsake the Derby. And then I heard that they were going to give the horses, wait till the last minute and give the horses away. So I put Messier and Newgrange on the list. Mm-hmm. This week Newgrange took himself off, but I'm taking Messier off because I don't have a clue. Now with the 90-day suspension on top of the 2-year ban, and then the state of suspension being denied, and now Baffert is suing because, and I'll say one thing for him, whether you like Baffert or not, he is right about one thing. If he's suspended 90 days, he's out of business.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what is he going to do? I mean, you know, when you're suspended by a racing commission, it applies to every racetrack. The 2-year ban is bad enough, but that's just Churchill Downs. So he's suing them.
He is. What do you think about this situation? I'm almost rarely ever speechless, but it's made me speechless. I mean, it literally is a mess. It's a mess for racing. It's a mess for the Derby. It's a shame for a sport that we love, for sure. You know, I don't know. It's been a
it's a witch hunt. I mean, it is. I mean, Churchill Downs is obviously out to get them, to get him, and they're just piling on. Now, look, Baffert had positives, and whatever kind of fine, disqualifications, or if you're going to spend them for 30 days or so. I mean, whether you like Baffert or not, basically it's Baffert versus the bully. Because listen, I know Churchill Downs quite well, having covered 25, whatever it is, 28, not 29 derbies. They're bullies, and look what they've look what they've done to some of the best racetracks in the country. They keep pulling Gordon Geckos, but these corporate raiders. They go in and they buy these racetracks, and then they sell them off, and then they're gone. I mean, Arlington Park gone. I mean, they just got Colonial Downs now, so I don't know how long that's going to exist. But just look at all the great racetracks. They destroyed Calder. I mean, they just do it all the time. I mean, it just goes from one bad organization to a worse one. I mean, as different people come on, they just want to control all of racing. So listen, I don't know if you can tell by what I'm saying, but I'm not a fan of Churchill Downs.
No, and I get it, and I think, I don't know, I guess from a horse lover's perspective, which I have been my whole life, and certainly love the racing folks that I know and am associated with, all the way from the breeders to the racetrack and beyond, to retirement, second careers and third careers. And I mean, I love the people with the thoroughbreds right from the beginning. So for me, it's a little bit of a struggle. But the thing I think as a horse lover that I'm struggling with the most is, in Baffert's case, nothing that any of his horses that I'm aware of have tested positive from is actually anything bad for a horse. In actual fact, it's all therapeutic. Now, I get rules are rules, and I get that, if you test positive for a therapeutic, then there's a big problem. But, it sort of gives racing, to say 5 positives, and I've read a lot of stories, and the way they angle the stories is it sounds as though he's had 5 horses test for some terrible, dangerous, harmful drug, and that's not the case. They're therapeutics to make horses, more comfortable and feel better and rest better and recover better and all that sort of thing. And yes, they shouldn't still be in the system, but the time, we're not sure if the days that are set that you should stop are still accurate, and it depends on the horse's metabolism and size and all sorts of other things, how long it takes to go out of the system. So I think there should be levels of penalizing, people. I think it should be, if you test positive for a drug that is harmful for a horse, you should just never be allowed to race horses again. But if you test positive for a therapeutic where you were just trying to make the horse have a more comfortable life, and you missed and messed up by a few days, or you didn't know that something was in something, to me, that's a whole different story. That whinny you just heard was actually the sign that we're at the 1 minute till we have to break. But we're going to keep Steve with us, I hope, for another segment, because we've got a lot more to chat about. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thanks for the whinny, and we'll be right back. That was great. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you.
Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Centre. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favourite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Louisa Barton here in the studio with my favorite guest on the phone, Hall of Fame Steve Haskin. He's our very, very favorite turf writer. We love to read and share all of his stories. Secretariat.com is a great place to go. And you certainly don't just get the information, but you get a great angle on it with a lot of wit, and very, very enjoyable to read from this Hall of Fame turf writer. Steve, we've been talking...
Okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. You're done.
After that, I mean, I can't get a better exit than that.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty good. We're talking about sort of the madness, of it all, and I'm a big supporter of horse racing, and I love horses, and I don't ever want to see a horse hurt or damaged in any way by anyone. And I think throw the book at people like, Navarro and Service, who, were actually caught giving horses things that they should never be given. But I don't really understand the need to, to beat Baffert up and not to write it from the right angle, which is, this is not... It's not the case of him trying to harm horses ever, that I know of anyway in all of this. So, I feel like there should be different levels, and I don't feel like a horse like Medina Spirit, who ran his heart out and ran an incredible Derby and didn't win the Derby because of the ointment that was rubbed in to his hind quarter. To take him down, it just to me is, find the trainer for messing up or miscalculating with a therapeutic, but why would you, the whole thing to me is just a shame. And I think, is it because Baffert's on the world stage and well known, and is it because the world is so against horse racing lately that perhaps this makes it look as though we're doing the right thing in this situation, but it's not the right thing, and it's just it's a shame. And this Derby this year is going to be a strange one.
Well, everything you said is right. I think part of it is the fact that, Baffert comes in and wins every year and keeps winning the Derby. And the more he wins the Derby, the more he makes it look so easy to do. And they want the Derby to be difficult to win, and they want other people to do it. So, in the beginning, they put Baffert up on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. But like people do, they put you up on a pedestal, and once you get up there, they want to take you down.
Right.
And Churchill Downs, basically, what they're doing is protecting their brand. I don't think they give a darn about horse racing. They're protecting themselves.
Yeah.
And and racing now is always bowing to all the the PETA type organizations and the organizations that want to get rid of horse racing. Mm-hmm. So they want to make it look good. But right. You're right. You're right. I mean, first of all, with Medina Spirit, who I really feel sorry for are the people behind the scenes.
Yes.
I mean, it's just a great story behind him with the breeder and the woman who bought him for $1,000. Mm-hmm. Both of them going through a divorce, and it's a great story. And the horse ran his guts out,
Mm-hmm.
and always did in all of his races. I mean, I don't think there's anybody can tell you he did not deserve to win the Derby.
No.
He did not win the Derby because of that cream that they put on him.
No.
And you have to recognize the fact that, again, this is not a performance-enhancing drug, even in the slightest.
Right.
And it's one thing if they had injected the betamethasone in him, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They put. Now, I'm not saying there's no blame here.
Mm-hmm.
If if you're going to put the cream on the horse,
Right.
you got to remember you're running in the Kentucky Derby.
Mm-hmm.
You better be very, very, very careful about that. And you're right about the horses' metabolisms.
Right.
You know, different horses have different metabolisms, but you got to look at that box and see what's in that ointment.
Right.
And when you see that, you got to know that the veterinarians
Right.
have to be held accountable too. They got to know that you can't have this stuff in your system for the Derby.
Mm-mm. Agreed, absolutely. And at that level, it should be, meticulously checked. Totally. I mean, more so than in any. I mean, that is the world stage. The Kentucky Derby is the world stage of horse racing, and it really is. It's a big deal, and there should be some sort of a smack on the hand and a fine for a mistake, which indeed it was a mistake, but.
Right.
The extreme that it's gone to put a black eye on the sport, and you're right. I'm personal friends with the girl that sold Medina Spirit. I'm personal friends with the lady that bred Medina Spirit. She lives just up the road. When my horse got sick, she was the friend that came running. They're wonderful people, and it was a great story. And even though it had a super sad ending, it's now been made super, super sad, by taking this horse down. So I think it's bad for horse racing. I think it's bad for the fans. I think it's bad for the whole scene.
I mean, the poor horse had the Derby taken away from him and had his life taken away from him.
I know. And look, old friends comes
and then
in.
how many people, by the way, thought that he died because of something he was given.
I know. I
mean, all these tests, and then a lot of people don't like the fact that Baffert keeps suing and appealing. But listen, you have to do what you believe in. You can't let the bullies win all the time. No. And why is Naira getting involved in this?
I know.
He didn't even have any positives in New York, and now Naira wants to mess him up as well, and. It was so obvious what they did last year with Medina Spirit was that here's a horse, okay, that wins the Derby, and going into the Preakness, they didn't know what they were doing yet as far as Naira. They weren't doing anything, and the reason they waited until the Monday after the Preakness is if he wins the Preakness, we don't want to mess around with that, because then we're gonna prevent the horse from coming here and winning the Triple Crown. So they waited to make sure he lost the Preakness before they did their suspension.
It's unbelievable. And then good old friends, bless them, they come in and say, we would like to have Medina Spirit buried here. And I think how neat is that he is going to go to such a wonderful and an honourable place to be with such great folks. Michael Blow,
and he's in a special place too, right in the front. Because they have the big graveyard in the back, but they have a little garden in the front. Where Charismatic is, and several of the others. And it's a beautiful spot, and I think it'll draw a lot of people to come look at him, and a lot of people are going to pay their respects, and they're going to bring flowers, and I mean, it's going to be very, very emotional when when they unveil that, and it's
very special. He was a very special horse, and I was so fortunate to meet him, a few times with Gail when we went to visit him, and I got to meet his owner, Amar Zadan, and what a lovely man he is. He could not be kinder or sweeter, and he remembered me at the Breeders' Cup and put his hand on my shoulder. Good to see you, Louisa. I was just blown away. Just remembered my name. Just a wonderful people, and just a very, very sad story in racing. And I'm depressed about the Derby. I'll be honest with you. I'm never depressed about you talking Derby to me, but today I am.
Well, Well, that's why that's why I was I was rooting for Country Grammar in the Dubai Cup. I mean, how ironic would it be is that 5 days after Medina Spirit gets disqualified and Mandaloun is pronounced the winner of the Derby, that Mandaloun then goes to the Saudi Cup and runs up the track, and Country Grammar, who's owned by Medina Spirit's owner, just gets beat. I mean, if he had won the race, I mean, to me, that would have been a good story.
Steve, we're getting the wrap-up sign, and that means I gotta go. But
I don't hear any whinnies. If I don't hear any whinnies, I'm staying.
Did you miss the whinny? I heard the whinny.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I want to thank you so much for being with us. Please follow Steve Haskin on social media. Get to secretariat.com, and you will really get the best turf writing ever, ever, ever. Thank you, Steve.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Take care. We'll be back on the show in just a few minutes. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used. The filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the last segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. In the studio with the return of my missing in action co-host. Everybody thinks I ran her out of Florida back to Delaware, but I didn't. She likes snow.
That's why I had to go north.
She had to go.
It's just too much sun.
Jody Everton actually came back to Chestnut Hill Indians to foal some mares.
Yeah, well, I came because, you know, the Scottsdale Arabian show is such a big show. It takes most of the month of February. So, yeah, Joe needed a little help. I texted him. I said, should I come down? He said, yes, come. So he showed up.
So did you fly or drive?
I drove. You know, I love driving my caddy. It's 903 miles door to door, if anybody's wondering.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad.
Not much worse than me popping off to Kentucky or somewhere.
No, it's not bad. I really try hard to do it without a hotel. I did it with a hotel coming down because of the time I left, but going home, I'm going no hotel.
So, you know, a topic that we've actually never talked about, and we're going to mention a couple of events in a minute, but a topic we've actually never really discussed on the show is foal watching. What do people do when they foal watch? I know what Jody does the other day, that night, but anyway, we won't go there at the moment, but we have sponsors. We do. But
What do you do when you're foal watching?
So, in all honesty, if you have foal watched before, you know the silence of the barn in the middle of the night is awesome, and it's a little bit addicting.
Yeah, it's very peaceful, actually.
Now, it's high tech now because we've got cameras, so I'm sitting at Joe and Rob's house with the camera, so I'm looking at the iPad and watching the mares. But I can remember back in the day using the baby buzzer. Did you ever hear about that? It was like a surf signal you put around them, and every time it laid down, it would beep in our house. So then you go trekking out.
You're like, please don't lie down, Mare, unless you're giving birth.
Yes, but I remember when we got that, we were like, wow, now we'll never miss it. The baby buzzer, which we certainly still miss some. But anyway, then we went to a camera that was good enough from our house on the camera, and you could see kind of a grainy look. Now, the camera is on the mare, and whoever has the link is watching it. So when this mare was foaling, Joe and Rob and 2 other foaling experts were out to dinner at Scottsdale, watching from the camera. No, they didn't, but they could have unmuted it. We all could have been having a conversation during all this. That's high tech.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can click it on my phone and see what's going on with the mare. Okay, she's good. Okay, she's good.
Does anybody else get that stomach in their mouth feeling when it starts happening? Because when I was foaling thoroughbreds, I was a wreck. And when I saw feet, I was like, ooh.
Oh, no.
And then the one time that I had the red bag, I was I took having my knickers in a twist. I did not know what. I was like,
no, I was summoning.
Break the bag. You can't breathe, you can't breathe. It was
Yes,
really
that's no joke. Actually, we talked about a red bag because I've not seen one of those in real life.
Haven't you?
No, and actually, a good friend of ours who came running from across the street to help be down there with me. I said, well, I know when I see a red bag. She went, oh, you'll know. So. Most of my childhood, my parents obviously were doing this. It was, Jody, it's time to see the foal. That was my experience with foaling until I was an adult. So much of it is doing nothing and just being calm.
And actually, can I talk about...
So as I stood there, I was like this, and there was one of my favorite mares behind me, and she was just doing this. Very gently. So as soon as my shoulders came away from the stall, I'd be like, no, wait. And then the mare would go with a little rub. So I was like, okay, everything's fine. Stay here. So it was fine. It was textbook and everything was fine. And the mare was perfect, so yeah.
When they've read the textbook, it is. But when they haven't, it can be...
Yeah, sometimes the mares don't read the textbook prior to foaling.
Unfortunately. And
that's a problem.
Yeah, and the night that the red bag foal was actually born, she lay around for longer than she should have. She didn't get up fast enough. It took her hours to nurse. I was in a panic. I kept trying to help her latch on. I kept putting her on hocks and knees and trying to get her up. She kept putting herself, on hocks and knees. And I kept, no, that's not where you nurse. And this went on for hours. And finally I'd called my neighbor, Kurt, who was wonderful at Faraway Farm. And he said, just don't worry. And I fell asleep in the straw.
Oh, God bless you.
For 20 minutes, middle of the night, and I woke up and there she was suckling. And I'm like,
see, and there you
too
go.
much human interference is the problem.
Yes.
They know what they're doing. Now, she was a little bit of a dummy foal to begin with.
Well, if it takes a long time, that happens,
But anyway, events. I want to mention a couple of events that I wish you were here for. We mentioned them at the beginning of the show.
I'm going to just miss it.
The first ever Florida Steeplechase.
When's that?
This Saturday.
I won't be there Saturday.
And
where is that happening? Oh my gosh, a steeplechase. Now that is something I've never seen in person.
They've got VIP tickets.
Oh my gosh.
Tailgating. They've got regular spectator.
Oh, it's perfect weather to go hang out outside for the day.
Hat competition in the afternoon. I'm one of the judges.
Of the hat competition?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll put pictures up,
Wear a hat or a fascinator, please.
Wear your fascinators.
You out and make you in, or decide if you're going to win. And then also, don't forget, on March 9th, we're really, really excited to have the Equine Industry Expo presented by Miller & Sons Plumbing. If you have a plumbing job, if you are in need of anything from all your plumbing put in or something that's not working, fixed, Miller & Sons Plumbing are wonderful out on the farms. They work with a lot of the horse people all the time. They can install piranha fly spray systems. They are the presenting sponsor of this event on March 9th from 12 to 7 at the Ocala Downtown Market. I think this is going to be an incredible experience for anybody from high school to semi-retired looking for a field of work or employment that would work for them. Horsemanship classes are available here at Chestnut Hill Arabians, where you can learn so that you can apply for one of the positions that are available here in the horse capital of the world. Food trucks, farriers, equine dentists, top breeders and trainers will be in the classroom presenting and answering questions. Just thrilled to be able to have a variety of breeds downtown. We actually have 62 breeds in the Marion County area. We're going to have about 12 or 13 of those for you to meet and greet in a safe environment where you can touch a horse, take a selfie with a horse. We're also going to have free carriage rides courtesy of Larson Hay with David Helmuth and his Clydesdales in his beautiful red hitch. We're going to have top professionals from the veterinarian clinics to answer questions for people who are interested. You can see a horse have its teeth floated. Cool. You can see a farrier putting a set of shoes on. You can watch Sylvia Zabini in action as she does a demo with her very famous Breyer horse, Rico. There's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be vendors and food trucks and entertainment. Lynn Calais, who runs the events at the market's husband, is going to be there singing. We may possibly have a chalk artist. We'll look at that as well. We're going to have a breed exhibit from Fredericks Equestrian International that Brooke Ledge is going to deliver the horses to the downtown market for us, and there's going to be a breed exhibit there and a photo opportunity. Lots of vendors, lots of food, and lots of fun in an educational environment and safe, so that you and your kids, your family, can come down and learn about the equine industry here in the horse capital of the world.
And it's going to be perfect weather for an outside Florida event. It's perfect.
85 in March. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So it should be a really, really wonderful day, and I think a great opportunity for people to learn about all the careers. There are so many careers in the equine industry, whether you want to be behind a desk, whether you want to be creating a radio and TV show for the horse world, or you want to be out there grooming, bathing, and up at 3 o'clock in the morning learning the racing business. I hear a horse.
It's time.
That means that's our time.
I know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
It's been a great show. We've shared a lot with you from a variety of different aspects and breeds and disciplines here in the horse capital. Whether you are in Ocala, Marion County, Florida, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around till the same time next week. And sorry I won't have Jody, but
not next week. I'll be
She'll
back.
be back. Hopefully you will be too. Please join us next week.